fight again, they're going to make him pin another medal on Oxy. You know that, right?
That was a great bit. That was pretty funny. Mickey Mouse was watching. That's hilarious.
So, yeah, so that's the anyway, so
I just don't understand why people want censorship, especially comedians. I don't understand.
They suck at comedy, and they think they'll get a leg up.
Oh, you're totally right. And that's why John's got it right on this one. He sees it because he's in this world, and you want to be able to say whatever you want to say. There's so much fine print to political correctness. You can't take it serious. You just can't take it serious. It's like, oh, you can't say this word, and then there's all these people that can say this word. So it's like, I'm just going to say all the words and deal with the consequences.
And when I say that Jon Stewart got that right, it's mean that he got it right that was not the place. An insult comedian. That's not that joke was right. That joke was obviously
In Puerto Rico.
That's a wrong joke.
Yeah,
Well,
they don't talk about
Some of the
that.
depleted uranium that turned out to definitely be poison.
Yeah,
The
they don't
ACUS,
talk
and it
about
was a
that.
big this doesn't harm anyone. We dump it in Puerto Rico. We dump our trash there. Who gives a shit what Tony said?
Right before this, like George Lopez said, don't leave your supplies out longer than a day because Mexicans will steal them. I
You
mean,
know
like,
how much they're worth.
He's right about
Big
that.
bucket of spackle.
You know how much
You don't leave a bucket of
He's right
spackle
about
out.
It's just like these ridiculous words put on people, like these rules of comedy.
It's just like these ridiculous
Maybe it shouldn't be
words.
done.
Okay, you know what really
Rules of
Tony
comedy. It's
said that
just
was
like
wrong?
this.
It's not the point.
Maybe it shouldn't be
He
done.
said the Democratic Party looks more like a kiddie party. So that's kind of really the thing that's offensive.
Or that why are we funding these Israeli wars? I think that is really.
Tony would never say something like
that.
He did say that.
He did?
I think that's
Oh.
Stuff on the Ukrainian wars and the Israeli war.
He said Israel?
Yeah.
Well, what does he expect?
Ukrainian wars and the Israeli wars.
I didn't know he said that. I
What
disavowed
does he
it.
expect?
I didn't know he's
I
anti-Semitic.
didn't know he said that. I
Oh
disavowed
my
it.
God! I was just telling him
I
not
know
to feel
he's
so bad.
anti-Semitic.
I feel like Jon
Oh
Stewart
my
at
God.
Disneyland
I
right
was
now.
just telling him not to feel so bad. I feel like
You know,
Jon
I
Stewart
figured
at
the guy
Disneyland
that
right now.
booked Tony to do the rally was the same guy that booked to sing the anthem.
Yeah.
The rally was the same.
You know
guy
what?
that booked
There's a way
Ozark
they could have
Parks
avoided this,
Yeah.
right? And Joe Rogan actually
You know
figured
what?
it out. They
There's
should
a
have
way
just
they
picked
could
a
have
different guy.
avoided
Let's
this,
listen to what
right?
Joe
And Joe
Rogan
Rogan
said.
You know who could
Clean.
do it? Who could do it and just talk about cultural issues and get over the line?
Who could do
Jimmy Dore is really good.
cultural issues?
He could do something like that because he's so knowledgeable in culture. He could bridge the gap between humor and fact and reality and what we're up against.
Between
He could do that.
humor and fact.
So I gotta say, I agree with Joe Rogan on that one.
I agree with that too.
Well, I gotta say, I agree with Joe Rogan on that.
You would have crushed that, dude.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't watch that long.
I don't know. I'm
I
not
just
sure. I
watched
didn't
that
watch
part. That's why. In fact, I gotta see it
You
again.
know who could
Clean.
do it? Who could do it and just talk about cultural issues and get over the
Who
line?
could do that?
Jimmy Dore is really good. He could do something like that because he's so knowledgeable in politics. He could bridge the gap between humor and fact and reality and what we're up against.
Between
He could do that.
humor and fact and reality and what
Thank
we're
you,
up
Joe.
against. He could do that. It's not Tony.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh, thank God for Joe Rogan, huh?
Maybe if you were cooler about Israel, it would have been your gig.
Oh, thank God
What's
for
that?
Joe Rogan.
Maybe if you were cooler about Israel, it would have been your gig.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was.
You know how Hitler's running for office and then he put a kippah on
Yeah, I'm
and went
sure
to the
that's what it
Wailing Wall?
was.
Yeah.
How Hitler's running for
Yeah,
office and
I
then
couldn't
he
shut
put
my
a
mouth
kippah on
at
and went to
the
Wailing
Rescue the
Wall?
Republic. I had to,
Yeah,
So,
I couldn't
yeah.
shut my mouth.
Anyway, I say what I say. What I gotta say.
So, yeah. Anyway,
but
I say
Joe
what I say.
Biden.
What
Say your
I
name.
said. But Joe
Now
Biden.
say your name.
But here, so of course, you know, the big story is that
But here, so,
Joe Biden had to
of course, you know,
react
the big story
to
is
the
that,
Tony Hinchcliffe joke about
Joe
Puerto
Biden had to
Rico
react
and
to
Puerto
the
Rico being
Tony
in
Hinchcliffe
garbage.
joke about
So
Puerto
he couldn't
Rico
help himself.
and
Couldn't help
Puerto Rico
himself.
being in
And
garbage.
here's what he said.
So
Here's what he
couldn't
said.
help
And listen
himself.
closely,
Couldn't help
because there's a
himself.
lot of people that are
And
saying
here's
he
what
didn't
said.
say
Here's what he
this.
said. And
But
listen
luckily, we
closely,
have the video.
Because
Wait,
there's
which
a lot of
Biden is
people
it?
are going to
Taller
say
one?
he
This
didn't
is the-
say this. Luckily, we have the video.
More
Which
aggressive.
Mike is it? The taller one?
This is the.
Young Biden.
He's more aggressive.
Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization seems unconscionable.
Okay, so I just want to play it for you again. He said the only garbage floating out there is his supporters. I'm pretty sure.
Puerto Rico, he said
the only garbage floating out there is his
He almost said where I'm
supporters.
from.
I'm pretty
He
sure.
almost said that.
in my home state of Delaware.
He almost
He
said
almost
where
said
I'm
Puerto
from.
Rico, where
He
I'm
almost
from.
said that.
I'm not from there.
He almost said Puerto Rico, where I'm
Jose
from.
Brandon.
I'm not from there.
That living
I'm
rock
like,
really kicked in right there, right?
Yeah.
YOLO me, homo.
Really kicked in right there.
Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization seems unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Now, they say he didn't say that, and I think the only reason people think that he said
They say
what
he
we just
didn't
heard him
say
say
that,
was because the
and I
sound
think
engineer must
the
have
only
been a
reason
Puerto
people
Rican.
think that he said
And
what we just heard him say was because
because he denied it immediately. He said, earlier today, I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporters
to the hateful
at this. Do you see how they're doing this? At his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage. No, that's not what you didn't just say his rhetoric was garbage. You said his supporters
That's not what you
were garbage.
And you spat it out of your mouth like you had accidentally eaten garbage.
were garbage.
You spat it out of your mouth like you had
Made a complete sentence.
But Jimmy,
Well, I'll tell you what he didn't do. He didn't write this tweet.
I'll tell you what he didn't do. He didn't
So here is how it got covered in the New York Times. The White House quickly objected to the interpretation. The interpretation
The White House.
of
Yeah, I did that
President.
with my girlfriend. I object to your interpretation of my remarks, honey.
The interpretation of his remarks, arguing that he was instead describing the racist language as garbage, not Trump supporters.
Describe the
That's
racist
so
language as garbage.
luckily we have the video, which you just watched. The White House released a transcript that showed Mr. Biden was saying his supporters with an apostrophe S.
Showed Mr. Biden was saying-
Demonization, meaning Mr. Hinchcliffe's demonization was garbage. No, that's not what they were saying.
Mr. Hinchcliffe's demonization was garbage.
Fucking-
That's not what they were
There
saying.
was an apostrophe? There are no apostrophes in sound,
There's a-
okay?
Apostrophe? There are no apostrophes in sound.
So CNN goes right to work, and you see what it says right there. It says Biden, only
CNN
garbage
goes right
I
to
see
work,
are Trump
and you see
supporters
what it says right
demonizing
there. It says
Latino.
Biden,
That's not what it was.
I see
They're doing a different story than Trump and Biden
That's not what it
That's right.
was.
They're not even on the same
I
page.
meant the racist Trump supporters.
That's
Yeah.
right. So that-
How did they get in a worse position than Tony now?
So here, and by the way, way to go for Joe Biden, because an important etiquette rule is to remember that when you are offended that a group of humans are referred to as garbage, the response is to also call the people who said that garbage.
He
That's-
didn't say that about Puerto Ricans. He said it about the island of Puerto Rico, where the United States military dumps its toxic fucking garbage.
Where the United States
You got
Holy shit!
I agree
Everyone
with
here's like
you.
a woman.
They are having problems getting garbage off the island. It is a fact. This isn't.
That's why they moved to Delaware, where Joe learned they're fine people.
Imagine leaving Puerto Rico to go to Delaware, dog.
That's all they get out of living there because they pay taxes. They're allowed to come here. That's all they get out of the deal. It's, America fucks Puerto Rico. We treat them like they're a garbage dump. The balls to be fake offended.
And it's a huge, and they're really offensive to the other huge plastic island in the Pacific, Craplantis, that's just sitting there ignoring that.
Craplantis.
Atlantis.
So CNN immediately jumps on this, and they start touting the White House's
Immediately jumps
line on it.
this, and they start touting the White House's line on it.
What's your response to that comment from President Biden, where it sounds like he's calling Trump supporters there garbage?
It sounds like. It sounds like, she says. Sounds like. It's, you know why it sounds like that? Because he fucking was doing that. That's why it sounded like that. It's weird that it sounds like.
I mean, do you know what I just realized? Do you think when Hillary takes her trash, it's like, okay, when do they pick up deplorables?
You know what I just realized? Okay, when do they
Is this a separate basket for deplorables?
And you know what, Jimmy? I actually think it's Biden's demented way.
And you know what, Jimmy? I
Kamala
actually
is
think
not
this
elected president.
I agree with you.
I'm with you on that.
Why? Because you could read lips and saw him talking to Obama at that day? She's not strong. She doesn't know how to call people garbage.
Oh, you mean at the Kennedy's?
They read his lips.
Yeah.
It's not strong.
At the Kennedy's funeral? That's what
And
that
Obama's, don't worry, we'll still pull it off. Let's just make love to men in our minds and calm down.
Keep it cool. Keep it cool.
So this is the governor of Pennsylvania, Shapiro, right?
So this is.
And so he hadn't heard that, so she just played it for him. And here, he hears the same thing everybody else hears. Watch.
And here, he hears the
I
same
had
thing.
not heard that until now, Caitlin, so I'm kind of giving you my fresh reaction to it. I would never insult the people of Pennsylvania or any Americans, even if they chose to support a candidate that I didn't support.
So he heard it exactly the way everybody else heard it. But now,
This rat was smart.
You know what I thought he was going to say? I would never insult anyone like that unless they were Palestinian. Then I'd kill them.
yeah.
Like that, unless they.
You know you're in trouble when they bring in the IDF to fucking comment on a situation.
You know you're in trouble when they bring in the IDF.
He's former. The White House scrambled Tuesday night to clean up a remark by President Joe Biden, who appeared to refer to Donald Trump supporters as. He didn't appear. You know why? You know why it appeared that way? Because that's what he was doing. That is this. They won't stop it. They go on. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization. They put the apostrophe in there. They did that because the White House told them to do that. And that's how bad it is that the Democrats now have to blame it on an apostrophe.
Supporters
Next, they're going to blame it on the bossa nova.
Apostrophe. Next, they're going to blame it on the boss.
Here's the Washington Post. Did Biden call Trump supporters garbage? It comes down to an apostrophe and a It may come down to the placement of an apostrophe, and it's worth a parse.
It may come down to the placement of an
You
apostrophe.
gotta be shitting. They're really doing this. The controversy centers on a jumbled comment. It wasn't jumbled.
They're really doing this.
At one time he was speaking clearly in a complete sentence. We know exactly what he was saying.
Speaking
Now,
clearly.
Biden invoked comedian Tony Hinchcliffe's quip at a Trump rally Sunday, labeling Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage, comments that many Republicans and even the Trump campaign have distanced themselves from. Just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. And then the key line, I'll offer,
Puerto Rico,
the Washington Post offers 3 different versions of the fucking line. You ready? The first one is, the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and it's on him. Here's the second one. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. So they put the apostrophe there.
floating out there is his.
Okay.
Is
Here's the Republicans favor the first one because it would mean labeling at least some of Trump's supporters garbage. You know why else they favor the first one? Because that's what he fucking said.
That's what he fucking said.
Wait, I was in the bathroom. Which one do you favor?
Good thing they're not calling more attention to this issue.
That's what I'm saying. Tony got off easy compared to that. How did Biden screw this up worse than Tony?
What are they doing trusting him with a paragraph?
There's a lot of blame to go around, Rick. You're right.
So here, Michael called Trump voters garbage. That's disinformation. What Biden said is clear from the video, and now the White House has altered the official transcript violation of Presidential Records Act. So now they actually broke the law. So that I guess apparently you can't do that.
You have laws.
This is right out 1984, by the way, just to get you not to believe your eyes or your ears.
I'm wondering if they're going to seal this video for another 60 years.
Yeah, by Pfizer.
Yeah, we'll get to see this right after Seth Rich's laptop.
Pfizer.
So here, the Associated Press. Breaking, the White House altered the transcript of President Joe Biden's garbage remarks, despite the stenographer's concerns, AP sources say. And that's, I guess, freaking illegal. Do you know that? Because since 2022, the New York Times has championed the prosecution of Trump for allegedly violating the Presidential Records Act. Now that there is strong evidence that Biden was directly involved in manipulating a transcript in violation of the PRA, Presidential Records Act, will the New York Times demand prosecution?
No, because Tony Blinken did it.
That's right.
Biden directly did. No, he didn't.
So here it is right there. It says the Oversight Committee said this week that Mr. Trump's handling of documents appeared to constitute serious violations of the Presidential Records Act and announced an investigation of. So again, it's rules for thee, but not for ye. So again, it's just two-tiered lawfare that they'll do to anybody, including former president of the United States, if the establishment doesn't like you. That's what 92 felony indictments are. That's what January 6th was. That's what 2 impeachments were. It's all about the establishment as like a guy who's a pebble in their shoe. And so they'll go over the top to fuck him over. And that's exactly, and so now, but there's going to be no prosecution of Joe Biden for this. You know that's not going to happen. Because you need someone inside government to actually follow the law, and that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And so I just want to play this for you because Joe Biden started out his presidency saying this, and he was referring to what Trump said on January 6th, and here's what he had to say about it.
Referring to what Trump said.
The words of a president matter, no matter how good or bad a president that president is. At their best, the words of a president can inspire. At their worst, they can inspire. They can incite.
Like a pile of fucking garbage.
Yeah, that's tall Biden. That's tall Biden.
We didn't even know how good we had it with this Biden.
No
I mean,
kidding.
that was a complete sentence right there.
Tall Biden.
The one that can run out to the camera,
Biden.
jaws out coherently. Where's this guy coming from?
That's 6'6" Biden. Yeah.
Picking
It's
fights
just
with
crazy how his forehead just changes with video to video.
It just changes.
So there it is. Joe Biden saying that the president's words matter, and they matter so much that the White House actually broke the Presidential Records Act, the law, and they altered his words because they're all bullshitting hypocrites who don't give a fuck about the law. They don't give a fuck about what's moral or right or facts or misinformation. They only care about power and shitting on everybody else. That's what the establishment is all about.
That's what the establishment is about.
Well, in fairness, they don't answer to you.
What's that?
In fairness, they don't answer to you.
No, they don't.
In fairness, they don't
They
answer to
certainly
you.
No, they don't. They certainly don't.
So that's what was great about when he went to Lahana. He was like, "Oh, geez,
That's
you
what
know,
was
my
great about when he went to Lahana. He was like, oh,
Almost lost my Corvette, my wife, and my cat. Lost my Corvette.
So
my
guess
wife-
what's happening? Democrats tell Kamala Harris to drop controversial tactic in the last week of the presidential. By the way, so there's, her calling him a fascist and a Nazi. They're saying it's not working, but there's nothing in this bag. So there's nothing in that bag.
Dude, is she sponsored by Doritos?
I guess.
Yeah, it's totally
Every
product
time she brings
placement.
it up, it sounds like ad copy.
Product placement. You know, the reason why she eats Doritos is because she has health care.
I just want you to know that Doritos have red dye number 40 in them, which have been linked to mental illness. That's how Kamala Harris has been warned against calling Donald Trump a fascist because it's not cutting through with voters.
Well, nobody knows what the fuck the word means at this point. That's my guess. What the fuck the word means at this point. It's when your mom doesn't take you to a drag show? It's when your mom doesn't take you to a drag show?
Watching Fox News.
Fascist, it's one of those words that nobody ever heard before Trump became president. Or they hadn't even heard of it. Kind of like Tony Hinchcliffe.
They hadn't even heard of it. Kind of like Tony Hinchcliffe.
Future Forward, the leading pro-Harris super political action committee, said in an email circulated to Democrats that its internal testing showed attacks on the Republicans' character were not that persuasive.
Internal testing? What is that? A girl asked her boyfriend?
Imagine going around calling somebody fascist as you
Imagine going around calling somebody fascist as you campaign on the fact that you're going to work with tech companies to censor speech. Like, that is fascism. That is where the private sector and the
academic pinhead, they all think the Umberto Eco version, which is, I don't know.
I know,
it's
that's
Joe
not really doing
Biden,
anything.
his definition
Never
of
mind.
fascism.
Don't worry, I
But he's
didn't
like,
say
it's
anything.
people who
I didn't say anything.
traditionalist
I didn't
and
say
everything
anything.
else I don't like. The thing that Mussolini said it is, they don't think that's fascism.
Well, what word has not been culturally appropriated in this great?
Yes, they jammed definitions in and gave the words. So now the words are too loose and the definitions slide out of them.
That was a very descriptive.
Stop keeping the language.
So the PAC Future Forward said in the same email that the Harris campaign's claim that her opponent was exhausted was also falling flat with voters. Instead, it urged Democrats to focus on the vice president's proposal on the economy and abortion rights and to set up a contrast with Trump on these topics.
You mean how the Democrats failed to protect those rights and Trump doesn't give a shit about it and has nothing to do with it?
And now I'll give a warm hand to Liz Cheney, who voted with Trump 93% of the time.
Unbelievable, dude.
Anti-abortion, I believe, until just now.
The funniest thing about Trump on Joe Rogan is like he was only supposed to do a short time, and he just keeps going to 3 hours because he knows Kamala can't do 3 hours, let alone 30 minutes. So now he's setting the standard for her to have to meet, and she just found out.
Didn't.
No one can last that long.
John C. McLean, the president of Future Forward, downplayed the significance of the campaign's group email. So this got leaked, and then he's like, oh, no. He's like, don't overread this. He said it is thousands of pieces of earned and social media content.
I'm exhausted.
That's it. Thousands of that's nothing. It's just like overwhelming evidence that this shit isn't working. But don't read too much into it.
Don't do your own research.
It's nice to know though that they have earned in social media. It's nice to know that someone is looking over you to make sure you've been naughty or nice.
Girl asked her boyfriend?
Imagine going around calling somebody fascist as you can.
No kidding.
Content.
I don't know what that means.
They paid for it. They bought it.
Yes, right?
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, they pay. Oh, my God.
I think that's the CIA guy here tonight. Huh?
Girl asked her boyfriend?
Imagine going around calling somebody fascist as you can.
So by the way, so I guess we should we go over to Rumble now?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to
I hear
switch over to
people say
Rumble. We'll take, how long should we break?
That's a long time. Let's do 5. Can we do 5 minutes?
Long time. Let's do 5
They
minutes.
need 10.
All right.
I got to
so
take a
that's
full
what's
shit.
gonna happen.
And I tell them,
Okay, we'll take a 10-minute break. We'll be right back with some more Rumble. Jimmy Dore, thank you very much.
All right.
Some more Rumble time with Jimmy Dore.
Hey,
Thank
I
you very
believe in having a substantial percentage of my financial future secured with gold and silver. That's why I decided to partner with our sponsor, Colonial Metals Group.
Decided to partner with our sponsor, Colonial Metals Group. They helped me set up a safe and secure self-directed IRA where I have access to my assets no matter what the stock market or for that matter what the government is doing.
Good evening, my friend Shaq Pierce, and welcome again to my channel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm friend Shaq Pierce, and welcome again to my channel. It is Friday. Happy Friday, November 1st of 2024, 7:43 p.m. How are you? Hope you guys have a blessed evening. This is arguably, I guess, in the top 5, Trump's notable nemesis. I present to you Liz Cheney. She is the daughter of former President Dick Cheney. Well, today, Mr. Trump said some things that arguably are disgraceful about this woman and how she should go out to battle, and if she had to, she wouldn't be the war hawk that he believes that she is. But the way that he said it, he should have did that. Not only did it give Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris something to run on, it gave people like me pause, like, man, here you go again. It reminds me of why I got to push it. Because atmosphere is everything. I'm big on atmosphere. I'm big on keeping the peace. And no matter how much she's made you mad in the past, and no matter what she's saying, don't you fall for the bait, and don't you start no stuff. And certainly don't get them ammunition. Put in the comment section if you know what I'm trying to say. You know, Trump, he got a little hard head, and he'll go after you in a minute, especially if you say something to him or he want to beat you to the punch. The point I do believe he was making is that, look, her dad, and he did mention her dad, he made a lot of money back in the day. That is, the company he was associated with was called Halliburton. And I'll explain that in a minute. Trump mentioned that. And basically what he's saying is that she's just like it. But again, it's the way you see it. But what I want to get in not only talking about that is, we only got X amount of days left. Somebody got to go to Trump and say, look, and he was with Tucker Carlson when he said it. Tucker Carlson got to learn to reel him in. I'm just keeping it real. If this is the last president, or if this is the last hurrah for us to try to move our country back in the right direction, then we need Trump to learn how to just chill out and be cool about his rhetoric. I think that's the best way for me to put it. Now let me hasten on. We got former vice president. And a lot of people say, historians say, he was the most powerful, influential vice president of our lifetime, if not ever. And some people believe that he was running rings around George Bush because of all the money that Halliburton was making off of the Iraqi war. If you're my age, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. That was a big, people thought it was a big conflict of interest back in the day. He was out of, if I'm not mistaken, he was out of Halliburton when he became vice president. But they gave him a hefty amount of money when he left. And whatever that is, it's going to blow your mind. Now, a war hawk, this is what Trump called her. A war hawk is a person who advocates for war or an aggressive foreign policy and prefers armed conflict over nonviolence methods to solve problems. And of course, he was referring to not only her, but her dad as well. So I'll give you some context. Now did I say Chris Tucker? I apologize. I always call him Chris Tucker. Tucker Carlson. He got to start reeling Trump in. He's with him a lot lately, him and Elon Musk. He got to reel him in. And I'm putting anybody who's close to Trump, including Christians and pastors, you got to talk to him. Because look, if we get him up in there, you know who you're fighting, allegedly. The media. And they can't wait for you to come out and say something that they can use as a document. And when you talk about them getting a hold of the information he put out there, which I can't put out there now, about what he said about her being on the battlefield, you don't need that atmosphere because you got crazies out here that can now go after him. That's what I'm trying to say, y'all. Now listen to his response about Liz Cheney. Just talking about her period, okay?
Something must be wrong with him if he thinks that that's okay. And if he thinks that there's a market for such language, that he's really doing an injustice to the American people, and frankly, insulting the intelligence of his own supporters. They don't want people having guns pointed to the faces of them.
See? You can imagine what she was about to say. Trump said something stupid. I put in my last video, so I gotta say it. It was stupid. This is probably his number one fancy Nancy. Remember how she tore up his State of the Union document back in the day? And he gave her some ammunition. This is the number one campaign finance raiser for the Democratic Party. Did y'all know that? Last time I checked, she's number one. That's the main reason I believe she came back. And if something happens in the future, then I know a reason why she came back. That is a lot of commotion later on if he gets up in there. This woman got a lot of power. And believe it or not, even though Trump was president before, the inner circle of the White House, Trump is outnumbered. Pelosi been around forever. Chuck Schumer been around forever. These are fossils, y'all. Trump's still getting his beard wet. You understand what I'm saying? 4 years in the White House. 4 years of no political history. Coming around these vultures? Guess what, Trump? This is what you're around. Forget about the war. You're around the hawks. Somebody got to pull his collar and tell him who he's around. These are ancient, that is historical, well-financed, fine-tuned, politically savvy, nationally and internationally. Trump, you can't win on that level. Please, anybody around him, teach him. Please teach him. If anybody understand what I'm saying, put in the comment section. 4 years as a president is nothing. Joe had, 36 years as a senator, 8 years as VP. She been around, I think, for about 40 years. Jeffrey's been around for a while. Schumer been around for, 30-something years. People, somebody gotta get a hold of Trump and let him know. When you do battle, you gotta be wise. These are old school, set you up, slip you up on the banana. And I think I said that in the video, either this week or the week before, that they can show you tricks up their sleeve that he ain't seen his last 4 years, in his last term. You feel me? So he got to concentrate. Stay focused on what you're doing. And you know the media is not with you, Trump. So just be cool. So that's her response. Now here's Harris' response.
This must be disqualifying. Anyone who wants to be president of the United States who uses that kind of violent rhetoric is clearly disqualified and unqualified to be president.
Trump shot back during a stomping mission. If she had to do it herself, if she had to... See, I'm not going to go there. Because I forgot what it said, but I'm not going to go there. People, when you listen to the... I'll put both of these... I'll put this video in the description. What all you got to do is type in on YouTube, Trump and Liz Cheney and what he said. Just put in Trump and Liz Cheney. It'll come up. It's not good to say that. And Trump, let's keep it real. That's a woman. Come on, bro. Somebody get a hold of this dude. He got to stop. No disrespect. Shouldn't call him dude, but hey, Mr. President, please, stop. And anybody around him, stop tolerating. If we want the Lord to bless, we got to be cool. If you want to, if you don't want, how would you say? They already got plans for him if you get up in there. They're gonna try to give him a war, a wrecked economy. You name it, you're gonna walk into a living hell. You feel me? So he gotta stay focused. You got 3 more days. Stop that type of rhetoric. Now check this out. Chris, this article is from way back in the day. Hey, look at this. This is May 24th of 2010. Chris Matthews says Cheney got $34 million payday from Halliburton. The vice president, when he left Halliburton, he got a check for $34 million. The oil services and infrastructure giant Halliburton is a favorite target for critics of former VP Dick Cheney, who used to be the company's CEO. During the presidency of George W. Bush. The company's Iraq war-related contracts. During the Iraq war, Halliburton had contracts, y'all, attached wide attention. Now the company's role in the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico has brought Halliburton back into the headlines. I mean, he left them and went into the political arena as VP, and they gave him $34 million. Have y'all heard that statement about money talks and money does favor? Come on, man. This is why people turn a blind eye to trying to make America great again. This is why people want America gone. Because of right in your face kind of stuff. We can just assume that Halliburton or any other friend of Halliburton start getting government contracts after that. You understand what I'm saying? So you attached to that, you made a lot of money off of war. You see it says? Companies, Iraq, war. Related contracts. Okay? It's like, hey, you're going to leave, here's some money. Now give me a contract. Allegedly, that's the way people are thinking. Now look at these numbers. He was vice president from 2001 to 2009. The war was going on around that time. Now check out this number. You're waiting for this here. Cheney's Halliburton made $39.5 billion off that war. Let's do the math. When he left, they gave him $34 million. Here, go buy yourself some Tootsie Rolls. On the way back, bring me a whole McDonald's franchise. In other words, allegedly it's a trade-off. $34 million versus $39.5 billion? Come on, man. I am glad. I was a reporter then. I didn't want to pull out. I had some things to do that. I had to pull out those articles I did on this back in the day. Because it was a big thing back in the day. People like, this guy about to be vice president? They knew Halliburton was about to make some money, and they did. It was a big thing back in the day. But they kept raking and scooping in the money. $39.5 billion off the war. That's just for Halliburton. They don't tell him allegedly what the other relationships were. Now check this out. This is why Trump snapped. I'm telling you. I didn't want to keep playing the video because I was scared he might say something. I want to get Trump in here. What he basically said is that you and your daddy, y'all war hawks. And your daddy made a boatload of money. That's basically what Trump said. Well, guess what? He's accurate. But when he's talking about her being out there at the war and this, that, he crossed the line. So here's her birthday. July 28, 1966. Boy, do I have a surprise for y'all. July 28, 1966. That's her birthday. Take July 28 and make it 2024. That's her birthday. Just passed. Versus 11/1 of 2024, which is today. He made a statement. The difference is 96 days. And what is 96? That's April 6th. What is 4/6? Well, guess who's the 46th president? Mr. Biden. You feel me? In fact, let's see. I think I read something there. Let me see. Is Halliburton making money off the Middle East war?
According to Wikipedia, while Halliburton's revenues have increased because of its contracts in the Middle East, the overall impact on its bottom line has been mixed.
Isn't that something? Yeah, they're still making money, y'all. They're still making money. So some way they're making money. It's crazy, right? This is crazy. But so look at the numbers. Now that 46. You remember what 46 is, right? 46 is chaos. See, Joe Biden evidently, you know how he brought chaos. Joe Biden's son, Beau Biden, he expired at 46, so it means death. George Floyd, George Orwell, they both expired at 46. And JFK, he became unalive at 46. So it means that you leave, don't it? That's interesting. And look at this here. What else I got here? 7/28. That's her birthday, right? Where's she at? Did I lose it? Yeah, July 28. Take July 28, 2024. Subtract it from Donald Trump's birthday, 6/14/2024. That just ended. The difference is 44. Come on, man. Who's the 44th president? Barack Obama. Why does it match up like this? Tell y'all, it's the black and white checkerboard, right? I wanted to see something. How far is this from the election day? We have exactly 100 days. Wow, between her birthday and that. That's interesting. 11/5. Let me see her birthday here. This is interesting. Trump needs to stop messing with her. Because there was speculation, people. Let me get back on this. There was speculation back in the day. This man, and you know he's still alive. There was speculation being said back then. This man was so powerful that even when he left the White House, he had so much pull internationally. Trump can't deal with this kind of power. I can't even explain to you guys the immensity. I did so much research in the 80s and 90s. I literally should have a master's degree in current political science. And what I can tell you is this man right here, he has so much power. So much power. He came into the international world. We're talking money. You already saw the kind of money that they was bringing in. This is the kind of stuff that moves dynasties, moves and sets up operations and empires, and move presidents in and move them out. Do you understand what I'm saying, you guys? Trump got money. But let me show you something. He ain't got muscle. Put it in the comment section if you understand what I'm trying to say. Trump got money, but he ain't got muscle. Trump is one of them. He has rolled with all the heavyweights back in the day, but not like this. Not like this. Baby, I'm trying to find the right words here. This is an international stronghold game that through what they do and the influences that they have set up and the allegiance and the relationships and what's the word? The types of relations that they have internationally. Trump won't know what's going on. He got to be cool with his daughter. I'm just keeping it real. You wonder why she's been in the headlines? Ever since last few years? Because she comes from that type of power. This is the kind of power they don't teach you in school. This is the kind of power that when you read your history, you'd have to read enough books to say, wow, now I really get it. These are the people that really shape the world. Trump is trying to incision himself to make change in their world. That's how small Trump is in relation to these people. And I don't want y'all to be insulted. And don't think that I'm trying to insult you. I couldn't wait to hurry home and do this video. Because I wanted to break it down just like that. Trump, in relation to people like this man,
I don't know. I haven't really messed with it.
he's an ant on a hill. These people are global. When I say globalists, globalists. Trump won't be able to go anywhere internationally and do nothing for this country or get anything done without affecting someone that this guy knows. They don't even call it relationships. I was taught this by, believe it or not, someone whose daddy is a billionaire. And this person taught me years ago that these are called alliances. They don't think like communists. Trump is in their world, although he's been in it 40-some years. But he's not in this type of world. This is a military machine. It goes back to the old saying, you got to be careful what tree you bark, right? You're barking at the wrong tree. I'm not saying you got to kiss up on her, but he got to be cool. He got to be cool with Miss Liz. He got to be real cool with Miss Liz. I want y'all to understand, because if Trump do get up in there, y'all gonna have to cool his jets, because she know what she got. He just talked about her, Warhol, Daddy Warhol, making all that money. But from my research from the 80s and 90s about this family here and the connections they got, they make and break presidents in any way, form possible. Allegedly. I'm going to just say allegedly. And I hope y'all getting that. And if anybody understand what I'm talking about historically, economically, and business-wise, it can get so personal that they can hurt Trump's business. That's how deep this thing goes. So you're trying to make America great, and by the time you get out the White House, you got to rebuild what you got, because they're gonna have meetings with your contacts. And look, people, y'all need to talk to this man, because this is the best way, in my humble opinion, for Trump to become compromised. Christians ain't got the kind of money to stand up to the Halliburtons of the world and their contacts and their type of alliances. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are dynasty breakers. He keep on talking the way he talked today, because it made me mad that he talked the way he talked about her and what could go down. This was wrong. So in that context, what I'm saying, I'm looking it down. This is wrong. If this woman feels in any way, form, or fashion, this could hurt her, they could get him financially before he can even think about repairing America. My name is Franchot Pierce. God bless you, and God bless America.
Why are you looking at me, Liz?